Etsy raised its transaction fee by 1.5%. Inflation is up 8.5%, hitting a 4-decade high. And every time I drive to the grocery store, I have to take out a personal loan. So why haven't you raised your prices yet? Hey everyone, I'm Dylan from Marmalade. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're taking a look at your listing prices and why you should consider raising them. Over the last week, some Etsy sellers have been on strike. And among the different reasons for why they felt the need to boycott, Etsy's increase in transaction fees is a catalyst, or at least the straw that broke the camel's back. And why is that? Look, we're not going to discuss the different reasons for why some Etsy sellers went on strike. We talked about that in a recent video. Today, we want to help you bounce back if you're just coming off vacation mode, or if you're one of the Etsy sellers that's still wondering how Etsy's increase in transaction fees is going to affect your business. If you haven't done anything in your Etsy shop and you're still operating business as usual, that's okay. But we're going to show you an easy way to take an objective look at your Etsy prices, make some adjustments, and put more money in your pocket moving forward. Let's jump in. The first thing we need to understand is that inflation is affecting prices all across the board. But between supply chain issues, rising gas prices, and material shortages, everything costs more right now. Earlier this year, USPS raised its shipping prices at an average of 3.1% across all of its services, with small flat rate boxes and flat rate envelopes of all sizes taking the biggest increase of about $1 each. That's a 12% increase from their previous price. A subscription to Netflix just went up from $13.99 to $15.49. That's about an 11% increase. And our standard metric for tracking the price of anything, milk, has gone up 4 cents since March. Yikes. So with all these price increases, including Etsy's transaction fee increase, now is the time to make some adjustments in your shop. Honestly, several months ago was probably the time, but if you haven't done anything yet, let's go over your options. So what about shrinkflation? You know what we're talking about. It's when all those chip bags get a little bit smaller and they're putting less chips inside. Or it's when the air inside the bag gets a little bit wider every time you open. Companies have been slowly making things smaller and providing less quantities for the same amount of money for decades. And that is shrinkflation, keeping prices the same while offering fewer quantities or smaller portions. Honestly, I think my pants must be shrinkflating because the waistline keeps getting tighter and tighter. But that's besides the point. Let's move on. Should you shrinkflate in your Etsy shop? Keep your price the same, but use fewer materials to create your product? Well, sure. If you can do that, if you create a certain product where you can use fewer materials to create it, why not give it a shot? But for most Etsy sellers, shrinkflation isn't really going to translate over too well, especially for an individually made, handmade product. It just doesn't really work. But it does bring to mind the importance of thoughtfully sourcing your materials. Where are you getting your supplies to create your products? Have your suppliers increased their prices this year? Are there any other suppliers you can purchase from that offer a comparable material for a lower price point? Or would your current supplier be willing to provide you a bulk discount for ordering more materials all at one time? These are some important questions you need to ask yourself before it's too late and your business is hemorrhaging money with all of these price increases across the board. If you've weighed your options and there's just no way that you could spend less on creating your end product, then it might be time to consider raising your prices. And the first question that comes to mind is, how much should you increase your price? Well, before you do anything else, we need to figure out your profit margin. So let's jump on over to a spreadsheet where we can figure that out. All right, here we have our Etsy fee calculator. We've created this for Etsy sellers to use, and this is going to help us figure out exactly how much money we make with each sale. So right off the bat, what we talked about in a previous video is that with Etsy's price increase, if you sell a product for $100, then you can expect to pay $9.95 in Etsy fees, not counting any offsite ads fees. So this has got the new transaction fee built into the calculator. So we're going to go over an example here. In our example, we sell t-shirts in our Etsy shop. So we're going to use that for this calculator. So we order our t-shirts in bulk a few times a year. And with shipping, it comes out to about $5.65 per shirt in a medium, which is our most popular size. So what we can go to is what the item costs you. And we know that our t-shirt costs $5.65, so we'll leave that there. That's just for the t-shirt alone. And then we print and press our t-shirts in-house. So our business has already paid for the cost of our equipment, so we don't factor that into our prices. So our printing press and everything that we have, that's already paid for. We're not going to consider that whenever we factor our prices. If you have equipment on rental, or if you're still paying off your equipment, then you may want to factor that into your equation. But for us, we're not going to do that. We do, however, need to buy the heat transfer vinyl that we utilize for our t-shirt printer. So we get those from bulk at Michael's whenever it's on sale. And we know that for the t-shirt designs that we sell, with one roll, we can get through about 6 prints. So that's going to come down to about $1.89 per design printed on a t-shirt. So we add that into $5.65, we're going to get $7.54. So that is out the door how much it cost us to create our t-shirt. Now look, we want to make sure you don't get too caught up in these numbers here, because for our example, we're just speaking in hypotheticals. So we stuff all of our t-shirts into priority mail flat rate envelopes, and we can get commercial pricing with a third-party service that we use. And since we put the shipping back on our customers, they pay $7.75 for shipping. And that's exactly how much shipping cost us. We don't charge any gift wrapping fees, so that is going to remain blank. And we've always felt that a $20 t-shirt is a reasonable price, not a $100 t-shirt. So with all that plugged into our calculator, it's going to show us some pretty important numbers that we need to know for our business. First, it's going to show us our total revenue is $27.75. That includes the sale of the t-shirt plus what the buyer pays for shipping. Our listing fee is, of course, 20 cents. The transaction fee is $1.80. So that's going to be 6.5%. That's at the new rate. Etsy's payments fee is 3% plus 25 cents. So for this sale, that comes out to $1.08, which means that Etsy's total fees are $3.09. And of course, this does not include any offsite ads fees that you might need to pay for your products, just for simplicity's sake. So the cost of goods sold is $18.38. Now this is the cost that we're paying for the t-shirt, how much it is to ship, and how much we're paying over to Etsy. So that means our gross profit is $9.37, which puts us at a profit margin of 34%. That's not too bad industry-wide for handmade across the board, but since we're selling t-shirts, we can do a little bit better. With our calculator, we can begin to manipulate our numbers to find a sweet spot that works for our business. So for instance, if we want to raise our t-shirt to $30 per shirt, then we can see that our profit margin jumps up to 49%. So we'll be making $18.42 per sale. Now we like the sound of that, but is anybody going to buy a t-shirt that is sold for $30? Well, that's where Marmalade comes in. With Marmalade, we can run market-based pricing research for our Etsy listings by searching through popular keywords inside of Marmalade. Now we've already done a video series all about why market-based pricing is one of the best ways to price your listings, so make sure you go check that out. So let's jump on into Marmalade and we'll show you how to do that pricing research. Okay, we've got Marmalade pulled up, and continuing on with our example from our calculator, we're going to stick with the t-shirt theme. So for our business, we like the retro look. We predominantly sell 90s inspired t-shirts. So let's stick with that keyword for our research. So we've got 90s t-shirts is our keyword that we're researching. We want to scroll down a little bit until we see the average price ranges for this keyword. So we can see that right here. We've got the bargain price range, $4 to $19, the mid-range price, $19 to $33, and then the premium price, $33 to $850. So we're not selling vintage t-shirts, so right off the bat, we're going to ignore the premium price range because that's most likely what's for sale in that range. If you were selling vintage shirts, say you thrift local yard sales picking out old 90s tees, then this pricing research should still help you out. So depending on the quality of the t-shirt you find and how rare it might be considered, you could dip a little further into the premium range. Probably not all the way up to $850, but you could get up there. So try searching for specific keywords that are directly related to the vintage t-shirt that you have in front of you, and then you can look at the pricing spread for that specific keyword. That could help you figure out your pricing a little bit better for your vintage materials. So for our handmade shirts, mid-range seems like a good option. So we're going to scroll down until we see the price spread. So you can see quite a few shops are listing their t-shirts at $20. Some go a little less, even to $15. Others are on the higher end, $25. And then some are even over at $30. And then you can see the t-shirts even continue on to $40, $50. You scroll over a little bit further, and you've got t-shirts of various prices continuing onward. So what this tells us is maybe a $30 t-shirt isn't such a bad price after all. So what's great about this pricing information is we can also see how much other shops are charging for shipping. So if we scroll down a little bit, we'll see some more shipping information. So it looks like our shipping price is on the higher end of the scale. So quite a few shops are offering free shipping, and the minimum shipping price other than free that we'll see is $2.45. But overall, the average shipping price is about $5. So at the very least, we can consider lowering our shipping price. So let's jump back over to our calculator, and we will change the amount we charge for shipping to $4.99. And what this does is it'll make our Etsy listing a little more desirable for those out there that are more conscious about what they're paying for shipping. We still have a healthy profit margin of 46%, which means we've increased our revenue by about 9% from where we started. And that's pretty good. Now, don't forget that your market is bigger than just one keyword. So what you'll need to do is jump back over to Marmalade and run these keyword searches with multiple keywords that you have for your listings. Go through your most popular keywords, go through the keywords that buyers are using to find your product, and run those keywords through Marmalade, look through the price spreads, analyze the prices that pop up for other listings, and then find a competitive price that you can utilize for your listings. Now, if your pricing research shows that you are severely overcharging for your products, but that's the price you have to set because your labor and material costs are so high, then it might be time to reconsider the products that you sell or the way that you create them. Back to our example with t-shirts, there are tons of varying shirt styles out there, all with different costs. Comfort Colors is a popular t-shirt right now, but it comes out to about $7 per shirt without any printing. And on the flip side of the spectrum, there are basic soft style tees that you can order for about $2.67 per t-shirt. Now, if you were to sell these t-shirts at the same price you're selling your current shirts, this would drastically increase your profit margins, but your shoppers may begin to notice the decline in quality. So what you can do is you can use our Etsy fee calculator in tandem with the Marmalade price spread to plug in the actual numbers that you're charging for your products, figure out where your margins lie, and see if you can adjust your prices to increase your margins. So if for some reason you're still hesitant about increasing your prices, here's a little trick you can try. You're going to increase your prices, and then you're going to put your product on sale. So as an example, if you're selling your product for $20, after all the pricing research you've done, you figured out that you should really be selling your product at $30, then do it. Raise your prices. Then go ahead and run a limited time promo for that listing at $25. The promo should give you a good bump in sales traffic, and once it's over, your listing price will be at $30, which is what you should have been charging for your product the entire time. We've covered this topic in a different video, so if this sounds like a technique you like to try for your Etsy shop, go ahead and check it out up here, and you can learn how to do it. So what do you think? Have you already raised the prices in your Etsy shop? How did it go? Are you still getting the same amount of sales as you were before? If you're an Etsy shop that's on the fence about raising your prices, what's holding you back? Let us know in the comments down below, and we'll see you down there. If you found the advice in this video helpful, make sure you subscribe to our channel for more e-commerce videos to come. If you're new to the channel, we've got a whole backlog full of videos that you can check out, like this one here, or even this one over here. So go check out any of these videos, and then we'll see you in the next one. As always, thanks for watching, and have a nice day.